Yes, 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 indeed, we are all here. We are all here. The collectives who are helping humanity and this planet and all beings on this planet are here now to be of service, to give you a direct conversation and communication and update of what is happening and why. So thank you, Erin, for being here to ask us these questions and using your free will to be able to help us give you and all listening the information required.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here and everything that you all are doing for us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And we are happy to still be of service because that is our duty and role, and we are stepping up to our own roles. It's very possible to do this. Would be extraordinarily difficult and extremely denser, so much denser. We wouldn't ever want to have left you and humanity and this planet going on for much longer without our help, because it is just, from our perspective, extremely challenging experiences. So imagine your lives without us, and unfortunately many people live their lives thinking that we are no us and that is truly where they get so lost in despair, and the depression and the density overwhelms them. And so knowing that we are here, knowing that we are watching you, and of course knowing that we're not perverts and that we have respect of your boundaries as well, but we're here to assist you and guide you, because that literally is our name badges and our titles, and we will go with that.
Wonderful. Thank you. Did you have an overall statement about what's going on with the world?
Yes, 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 indeed we did. Indeed we did. Ring, 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 ring. The alarm bells are ringing. People are waking up. And this is exciting. And the vehicle is wondering why she is so emotional about this. But this is our joy. They've had enough of the triggers. Funny that. They are having enough of the density. They're having enough of being pushed around. And so they're stepping up. And what does stepping up look like? Unity. Collective unity. And so you just can see it in your countries and in your cities. People coming together to be part of collective within themselves. They're physically standing up and they're walking. They're walking together in protests. They're marching together. They're chanting together. They're linking arms together. They are not seeing each other as separate. They're seeing each other as one, as a body of one. And this is a beautiful movement that we are just adoring. And we are saying, oh, we're so sorry that you had to get to this point, to breaking point, to just get out of your homes and stand together in unity. But this is perfect. This is bringing your unity together, that energy of the crowd moving together with the same goal, the same direction. It is so beyond beautiful. The vehicle is just flooding with tears because she can see it now from our perspective, that this is what we've always wanted for humanity. But of course, how hideous, how revolting, how horrible, how scary it was to get to this point. And we know that many are marching in fear that nothing will change, but they just have to do something. They have to step up. They have to just walk with the crowds and be there and be counted and be seen as one. So can you see how the layers of this is so beautiful? It truly is so beautiful. And it is so powerful. And it is raising their vibrations together. They're having, in that moment of protests, yes, the adrenaline is pumping because they are afraid. What if they get into trouble? And what if something happens? and they're balancing everything. Their social fear. What if I get the virus while I'm protesting about it? How ironic would that be? So there's a lot of emotions going on there for each individual person. They're feeling overwhelmed with the energy, the vibration, the collective energy. It's beautiful. We are all there, and it's like we are holding our hands out to them and just sending them profound love, and we're bouncing back the energy within themselves together. It's very high vibrational, and they got addicted to this feeling. They've all had sometime a little protest here or there in their lives, and they like that feeling like they could just step up. And this is a profound experience, quite life-changing for many ways, because they just feel the energy and drive of like-minded people, and it removes them feeling like they are alone. It gives them hope. It gives them that they can see that they are one of many like-minded people, even though they're strangers. They're arm in arm. They are together. That unity is so profound. And we also know that many do realize that this is a very powerful movement, a powerful action, and so they want to add disturbance into it. They want to present guns and have arguments and to cause confliction, and this is more, and it heightens the experience more. And it's all purposeful. Whatever happens is exactly how it needs to happen. Unfold it, trust that. But it needs to have that extra standing up. If you've been afraid of guns, or if you've been afraid of standing up ever for yourself, and then surviving that protest or that movement and going home and reflecting and thinking, I saw agitated people and it didn't bother me. I saw guns and I saw disruptions, but it didn't bother me. I was safe. I was safe. I was safe. I experienced something. I am safe. I stood up. I got some exercise. I got some unity. I got some collective vibes. And they're going to feel really proud of themselves. And they have this hope that they will do it again in a heartbeat, because they love that energy frequency that they were surrounding themselves in.
Beautiful. I love that perspective so much. Thank you.
Of course, we know that because there is this big, beautiful movement about freedom and silent protesting. Of course, we know that there's other things that riots is quite different from protests. But notice how they're trying to conflict with each other, and this is, it is. We don't want to say this is the dark agenda here at play, but this is something very similar that is trying to stop people from wanting to do these silent protests, these freedom marches. And so it's very interesting. The race wars that are being played out now to encourage division and separation. Yes, we understand that many people still need to heal from being racially profiled, not just this lifetime, but other lifetimes. And so we're encouraging people to feel into the energy of the freedom protests versus the riots. Avoid the riots, we say with much love.
Can we ask the collectives to protect those who are peacefully protesting, and so it can be protected if it is let's see, I want to respect their life contract if they have an exit point with a situation, but if someone doesn't, can we get some extra protection for those people, please, while they're protesting? Sorry.
We would like to say to you, as we were saying earlier, imagine us as angels, if you will, for comfort, and we are putting our hands over the crowds, and we are protecting them, watching them, and we are sending them, because they're so much more open, because they're together in a big unit, moving together forward, moving for hope, moving for change, moving for freedom. They're using all their free will to be open to this, and because together the energies are very heightened, they're getting invigorated, the pace of the march, it actually is forcing them to get quite a workout. So they've got a lot of oxygen in their bodies. They're very, very open to it. And so what we're doing with that is just sending them profound high frequency energy of love. And so of course we're watching them very closely and really remove can you imagine each step they are stepping out their frustration, stepping out their anger. How dare this happen to us? How dare this happen to us? Our children, our children, our children, our futures, our freedoms. You know, they start off with this pace and they just stomp out their frustrations and they just get into this zone of this movement, and then sort of they release that, they've moved away from the density, they left down on that pavement, and they are moving forward at a gentle pace now because they've got out their anger. They are in this peaceful state of just, we are here, we are going to be seen, we are going to be heard, we are one, we are one. And so we are releasing them from that density. They are releasing themselves from that density because we are just high vibrating them, loving them, squeezing out all that density. And so they physically have walked away from that density. They have walked away from their frustrations and their injustices. This is profound. They are walking away from their traumas. You know, this is a profound thing. They're going to be changed people after these because they know they've got unity. They have got out their frustrations in a healthy manner and know that this is not going to be the end. They will continue on protesting as they need to because they're going to be damn fucking heard. And this is their frustration now. You're going to hear me now because it's not just my voice, it's all our voices. And so this is so passionate of them. They are so dedicated. They know that they will step up again and they will see those people again. They will know if we have to do this again every goddamn day, we will do it if we have to. They know there is no other choice. They must be counted. They must be seen. And they're now going to be addicted to that high frequency energy, which is fantastic. And we love that for them. So this is why we are in so much joy, because it just is beautiful. They just don't see all the layers of it. And yes, of course, we will protect them all. We will protect them all. Because there's nothing better than just releasing the density and the frustrations and them coming together as unity. We would love that. We love that. We endorse that, and that's why we are encouraging that. But there is the difference between the freedom protests and just standing in unity. You don't even have to say anything, just being there and just acknowledging each other being there is so profound, so beautiful. And this is what we love. But we understand many people are afraid to go out of their houses and meet strangers and stand up together. This is a scary thing. What if I accidentally find myself at a rally that is protesting and then there is riots? You know, so find out what you're saying about yourselves to make you not experience this. They're all around the world at this point. You can create your own if you need to. But even just tapping into their energy, even just watching the videos of these freedom marches will move you and effectively will give you the same experience. So please don't feel like you are being coerced by us to do something. But it's a powerful movement. It's a powerful action. And so, you know, use your free will to choose what is the best for you.
Thank you. Now that this is occurring, this worldwide show of unity and this wonderful movement, now what?
Well, now you're noticing that there is a more pure energy from the satellite you call the moon. And so this is a higher frequency again. Many planets and many collectives know that there is that access of the moon for the satellite for information and for sending love messages from home and sending energy. And so we have called out to all who are sending and wanting to send love messages to those here on earth, this is the time. This is the time. This is the time. And so you are getting naturally just bombarded with love messages. And sometimes that is overwhelming. So people feel agitated and feel sort of they don't understand this. It's like an agitation within them. It's a higher frequency love message. And if you're not able to know what's going on for you, you may feel like you're just annoyed for some reason or a little bit irritated. And so this is why people say, oh, it's the full moon doing me in, and so lots of people don't like, this is what we're going to say. When you get so many messages of love that is a high frequency that goes straight into your heart portal, you can misunderstand it because it's so intensive that it could almost be misconstrued as aggravation. And so there you go, there is the werewolf that comes out within you because you're so grumpy with it. Oh, I'm not sleeping. I'm gonna be grumpy. And we say this with much humor, of course, and hopefully this delivers it better than our other ones. So we want to say that you are being kept up at night because you're just getting all this loving downloads. But of course, when you wake up in the morning with less sleep than you think you need, you get a bit irritated as well. So this is, we would like to explain that more. It's a beautiful time for humanity. It is just such a beautiful, beautiful time. And this is a time for unity. This is a time for being part of a beautiful movement. And it is just so beautiful from our perspective as we see it all. So we hope that this encourages and inspires people to just trust that everything that is happening is really truly for the best outcome for all. And this is truly, truly, truly the case.
Thank you. Could you give a status update for the transition or the awakening of the mass population? Anything that you feel is appropriate?
Yes.
With that,
as we said, the movements of the rallies and the protests are really making people really truly see that they're not alone, because often they have been ridiculed by their friends and families for their own belief systems, so they have to sometimes even go to these rallies by themselves. And when they go there, they realize this is a profound thing. It boosts them up. And so everyone that's been activated through all of these movements, it's raising their frequency. They can never go back to that density because they literally have walked out their density. They have released their fears. They have shifted them off. And so they're going to be in this high frequency bubble for some time. They've really marinated themselves in this higher perspective. They feel motivated. They feel they've got action, and they've got backup total strangers who will be there every single time that they are being called to stand up. And so this is fantastic. And so therefore this is a huge ripple effect, and it will continue on as needed. And so we say that there is like a tipping point. This is what Source wanted. Source wanted you all to love each other and feel each other's strength and power of unity, being one, actually physically being in your energy of one mass. When you become one part of a mass movement of physical walking, you embody all energy. And because it's all high frequency, can you imagine the power of that? You feel invincible. You feel like nothing can move us now. It's only a few people. It's only a few people that are holding up all of us. Our voices will be heard. This was a very powerful feeling that they have within them. It's a spark. It's very, very, very powerful. Very powerful. And it just is rippling out and out and out and out. And it will just keep expanding. And then because more people are able to have a higher frequency as they have had this profound release of density, then we're going to amp up the energy on this planet, which is happening through not just the moon as a reflection of the satellite, but also us all here now. we're really going to ramp it up quite a lot. So therefore you're going to feel a lot more of these triggers, a lot more of this aggravation, which is your frequency vibrations accelerating at quite an advanced rate. It is going to step up and up and up and up and up, and everything is all in preparation for the shift.
What are the physical changes that people may be experiencing with these increased frequencies that are occurring and will continue to occur?
Mm-hmm. So we're wanting the density of the bodies to be released, so we are keeping you up longer to be able to hold on to that frequency. It's a battle between holding on to the density and accepting the light. We want you all to accept the light, which is accepting source love, accepting love of self, accepting the higher perspective, trusting that all is well and have that balance, versus over obsessing in your mind the negative things that are in your lives. And so when you realize that you're part of a team with say like the rallies, you have profound hope. So physically you are sleeping less, you are feeling a lot more frequency vibrations throughout your body, you are getting a lot more sensations of ringing in the ears, you have more of a desire for liquids versus solid foods, you are still going off some of your density foods, you are realizing some of your processed snacks were not as rewarding and enjoyable as they once were. You are having different sensations and tastes of the mouth, which is a metallic taste, as we are removing lots of density from people's heavy metals. We are able now to release many more people's heavy metals, because that was part of releasing things that no longer serve you. And we were realizing many people didn't realize that they had heavy metals in their systems. And so we now have full access to be able to help. This is why we've begged you, please, to drink more water, because this will assist with that so much more. So we are having more capability to releasing things that no longer serve you, that you're not even aware of. So how could you possibly even ask us to help you? And so this is one of the many things that we have been able to get access to in a more profound way. Beforehand, we needed you to ask us if you wanted that. And now the collectives have decided that this is going to be a more beneficial thing to help assist with the densities.
Epic times indeed, then. That's fantastic. Thank you all so much for everything.
It is truly marvelous times, and while we don't tell you all of the smaller details of things, we just gave you many great examples of really how to see things from the bigger perspective on why everything is happening. And when you hear it from the bigger perspective, doesn't that make you feel like you can just relax knowing all is well? All is well, all is well. We say this so many times, and we understand that while you're experiencing it, it may not look like that. But when you can just stop and consider another perspective, the purpose for it, the reasons for it, then this will help you greatly.
Thank you. I wanted to ask for epiphanies for those who are feeling depressed and alone. Can we ask the collectives to give them profound epiphanies that they are loved and they are not alone by any stretch of the means?
Yes, indeed, we have. Thank you. And so it will be just even them stumbling on seeing the rallies online or on TV. There is something very moving about seeing a crowd. And even if you are not even in the crowd and you're watching it, you realize they're speaking up and standing up for me. And that makes people feel like they are supported. They are seeing others standing up for them. And this is fantastic, even if they have no intention of traveling to that country and being part of that rally. So yes, many people are experiencing lots of epiphanies, and it's just giving them just fractions of hope. But then they will use their free will to keep thinking about the restrictions and the tragedies in this world. And so they sort of are in a battle with their minds right now. We are showing many people that there is hope, that there is change, that there is collective unity, and we keep showing these people this, but they're using their free will to not see it as epiphanies, that this is a movement moving forward. You can be a part of it, give them support, because they're scared. They're scared. All of that's for nothing. Oh, they've been doing that all year. It doesn't change a goddamn thing. And so it's their attitudes that is blocking them from their epiphanies. And so we're going to now, as a collectives, oh, this is going to piss them off. We're going to now, when those people are wanting to do those reactions of dismissing the power and change and movement forward, and seeing it as all pointless, we're going to give them a nudge. And we're going to give them a firm, well, what if it actually is the cause of change? What if this is the small steps? What if each individual person walking in those freedom marches are the literal steps to freedom and to change? What if that is? And so then we're going to force them to start thinking about, what would that change look like? Will they get their lives back? Will they? If they get their lives back, if these movement freedom rallies do win and do have the change and create the change they want, are you going to be able to trust your medical systems again? Are you going to be able to trust your political systems again? Political systems again? Like, you can't go back to the old ways, because suddenly now you've seen two big systems provable to be coerced and corrupt. And so what are you going to do about that? So they're going to now be focusing on, well, obviously now there's going to be changes. People are going to awaken up to some of these systems that aren't actually helping humanity. What next? How can we overcome this so this will never happen again? And now that we have seen their true agenda, how is this going to not ever happen again? And so it's got to such an extent they don't actually really like how much control has been forced upon them. And while even if they did be afraid of the virus, and if they are even fully vaccinated, they still don't like how much it's been changed. They don't actually feel comfortable. Their moral compasses are being pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And they are seeing that this is not morally right. This is not humanitarian on any level. It's actually not even common sense anymore. And so, they're going through their own journeys. They are processing this. So yes, indeed, they are having these epiphanies. They are absolutely having these epiphanies. And we are encouraging them. The energy of this planet is also encouraging them to be more open-minded. And this is fantastic. We love this. It has got so ridiculously extreme now to awaken them. And they just need to stop and notice for 1 second, and change will occur.
Forgive me if this is mansplaining, but I was thinking of all those people who are very afraid of change for whatever reason. Can we ask that they be offered epiphanies to be strong and bold in having and voicing their own opinion?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes. And so they will be given dreams of having to speak their voices and having people listen to them and respect them. They will have dreams of empowerment, of hope. We are now, because we are helping them, we're allowed to access more of their dreamlike state for them to remember a beautiful dream of almost a paradise. They almost thought they were dead, but they weren't. It was like almost this planet, but it was a new planet. It was like almost a new earth. And my goodness, how I felt marvelous. How goodness, I felt like everything just made sense and it was all purposeful, and there is truly more extraordinary things. And it was so familiar, but yet so foreign. It was like I was on a different planet. And I got to see all of my friends and family there. And it was so beautiful. And actually, I didn't even want to leave that dream because it was so fantastic. And so we are doing things behind the scenes to be able to help. And this is a beautiful experience for them. It really does. And we sort of tell them more than what we consciously can. And so even if they just wake up with a smile and just this, I had this beautiful dream. I can't even remember what it was, but I didn't want to wake up. You're welcome. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. And we say this in jest because, we don't truly take ownership of us helping you with ego like that. We are simply saying this is just another way, another example of how we've got more access to help support. Previously, we were not allowed to trigger people into knowing about the new earth because they were still dense and they still had so much other things that they had to focus on to complete and achieve and finish their 3D life. But now we have more access. Now we can use their dreamlike state to give them hope, to give them that physical experience. Of course, many people are confused why they had dreams about ships and traveling and helping others, and I felt like I had an important job and I was doing something really special and helping people, and I have no clue what I was doing or why, but my goodness, I liked helping people. That was an extraordinarily strange job, and a strange dream, but it felt so real. And so whatever epiphanies they're going to be having in their dreamlike states right now is super incredible, because you get the feeling of the dream, you get the senses of the dream. We are doing everything we can to help all awaken at this incredibly important time.
Very exciting. My next epiphany request is for any person who is enforcing mandates of any kind, be it police force or security or employees, anyone, can we ask that they have profound epiphanies to become less indoctrinated and respect people's sovereign choice to make their own decision?
Yes, indeed. We are triggering them to remind them of how it felt to be overwhelmed with rules pushed onto them. And so many of them have taken those jobs because they don't want to ever be pushed around again by others. So they would like to push others around effectively, not for all. And so we're going to remind them firmly of how terrible it felt to be pushed around. And then they're not actually going to be able to push around others as they do themselves. And so they're actually going to have a little bit of taste of their own medicine. These are the people that love ruling on others and pushing others around and enforcing things just for the sake of enforcement, because that's where they get their thrills, that's where they get to feel important, that's where they get to feel special. And we're actually going to show them profoundly that actually how you feel special and important is being kind and considerate and accepting of others and respecting of others. And so for those people who are still wanting to yell and scream at people for not wearing masks, they're actually going to respect choices now and actually not have that confrontation and just do their job. And even though some of them have been forced to make sure that their job literally is just to make people wear masks, they're going to have a moral compass trigger, and it's going to be a profound epiphany for them. And this is going to make them really firmly realize what's their need to control and enforce and manipulate others and rule over others. Big triggering, big growth, big experiences. And so if you are playing the role of not wearing a mask, for example, and someone wants to trick their ego on you to enforce a mandate, you can just smile and say, thank you, I hear what you're saying, and continue on your day. You don't need to wear a mask if you don't want to. Own your body. Don't have arguments with them or have arguments with them. Trigger them if you feel like this is what you're supposed to be doing. but understand that people are needing to be triggered to have those reactions for their own personal growth. And so not going and falling into peer pressure. It's a tricky one because many who have these roles to enforce these mandates have to overcome being blindly following rules that actually aren't helpful for those who you are enforcing it on. Potentially these are people who, we want to say this, potentially these are people who were Nazis in other lifetimes and how they had to do certain things and follow certain rules. And so this lifetime they wanted the same challenges, but to actually stop and use their moral compass and actually go, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this for my job, but I'm actually going to just look the other way and allow people to be people and allow people to have choices. And, you know, it is stepping up to your own roles. And of course, there is other people who are victims to, being followed. So there might have been victims for the Holocaust, for example, who were killed or, you know, brutalized in people following orders. And they are those security people now. And it is them to experience what it looks like and feels like to just enforce rules that don't really truly help humanity. And so because they were victims in one lifetime, they want to see what it feels like to be the enforcers. And so everything is so uniquely specialized to those individual people wanting those experiences. But ultimately we want unity, ultimately we want acceptance of all, and to respect all, and to honor all, you know, except when those people are trying to do something to you that is making you feel like it's losing your balance. You know, it's so layered. We love to be able to give you definitive information from our perspective to help you all, but as we are feeling into everyone who is listening, they've got their own little scenarios of how to manage and navigate, and they don't quite understand why some certain person is triggering them. And so it's we would love to be able to help every individual person just hear things from our perspective, just to be able to give them that there's those keys of information to be able to see it, and understand it, and have those epiphanies of what was these lessons to teach them for the experiences. But why? Why did I need to have that experience? What am I supposed to learn from that experience? Understanding that information is key.
Thank you. Can I ask for epiphanies for all? A deep thirst for a higher perspective so they don't get stuck on the denser issues without seeking the higher perspective.
Yes, which would be then, we would say, and this may sound like ego, then we would say, yes, we are trying to make all find our messages, our energy, our sessions. This is how they get big epiphanies of why they're here, what the purpose is, and why they feel so foreign, why they feel like a stranger in their own planet. This is it. This is why. Why do you feel like there is something big happening? Why do you feel like you are important and have an important role to help here, but you feel so insignificant because you can't understand why you have this drive to be of service, but yet the role that you feel like you need to be doing isn't even in your reality yet. You can't even possibly see the senses you're feeling, who you are and what you should be doing doesn't correlate to the life you're living now. Hello, we say with much love, because it doesn't, because it's not your time to shine yet. You are here for the shift and to be those ambassadors on the new earth, to be able to teach with your skill sets that you are fluent with there. But we're all waiting for you to get there. And so this is why you're feeling angsty. This is why you're feeling like there is something big here and I don't quite know what it is. And so you go into fear thinking, holy shit, it's the New World Order. Oh, we're all F-U-C-K. And so this is where, when you're in heightened in fear, this is where many feel like they go into that box. Doom and gloom. We're all victims here to this agenda, and there is no hope. No one's helping us. We're all doomed. Rich people are going to get their way with us once again, and there is nothing to look forward to. Nothing. It's all done, dusted. No one's going to change anything apart from those who are corrupt and have an agenda to wipe most of us out, so then their family and their bloodlines can live. Can you see how depressing that is? That almost makes us feel depressed with that mindset. Because it is just so defeatist. It is just so given up. But for many, can you understand? For many, they don't get to hear this information that we're providing, but they hear throughout all of their YouTube searches and all of their influences. That's where we're going. That's where you're heading. They're not saying anything else. There may be some possibilities of some financial resets. But how does money solve things? How does money solve the climate change problems or whatever else they are currently fixated on? And who's going to stop the 5G radiating out my brains? Many people are aware of so much that's happening, but they don't hear the bigger perspective of why or the truth without the fear. And many people cannot see a big influencer spreading fear. They don't understand that all the information that they're sharing is fear-based and gives you just the problems and none of the solutions. So we're saying this is why we would like people to listen to our perspective, because this is the solutions to that fear-based disinformation. So yes, we would love everyone to be having these epiphanies, and we have encouraged so many people to listen to this information, and they've used their free will to either distract themselves from it or not want to buy into it or not want to change or not want to step up, and a whole lot of reasons why they don't want to empower themselves with this information. They would prefer to keep disempowering themselves with disinformation, and that is your choices. And we could tell you what we would prefer that you do with your free will and your choices, but then people would say, how dare we try to guide you into having inner peace?
Oh man, true. So open-ended here. What other epiphanies do you view as beneficial for people to have, or do you guys have free reign at this point, and this mansplaining level doesn't need to happen?
Well, everyone is being activated to see things from a different perspective and a new way of seeing things. Absolutely. There is so much small little disclosures now. You cannot go on the internet without another new little level of disclosures. So it is just keeping high vibrational, trusting that everything is purposeful, being of service, supporting those who haven't quite stepped up into understanding what's happening and why. We have removed a lot of what you would sort of call mind control from the Anunnaki and the reptilian collectives. We just did this recently, and so we're seeing a lot more of clarity in people's minds than they have before, which is fantastic timing because of the extra energy that the full moon is providing. So it is full beaming down higher frequency. There's so much that is happening, and also more. Oh, this is important. We want to say more home ships have arrived, and so this means that it's like we want to say your Uber drivers are waiting for you. There are some individuals and some smaller groups that are here just to lend their special, unique energy on this planet, and it's like we want to say your mum's here to pick you up, but it is not really like that. It is more ships that have come with high frequency volunteers to come and send their energy frequency onto this planet as well. It's a very big show. It's a very big show. And so what we say is show, it's very big observing humanity right now. Very big to see this planet right now. And this has got many, much attention. If you want to think of it as, we wanted to say like a big sports game where everyone tunes in to watch it, how it all unfolds. Of course, there's no winners. Everyone wins because everyone evolves. So that is fantastic, and everyone has participation awards for being of service. And it is just interesting for many to see this event in terms of it as we foresee it. It is incredibly successful because the density of those really deep experiences are priceless for being able to know how to navigate so this doesn't get repeated again. It is so purposeful, everything that has happened. It's great teachable moments, and this doesn't need to ever be repeated. It's too taxing. It is too strenuous energetically on all. And so this must come to the conclusion, and we see it when we view it. It is very significantly impactful and purposeful, and the experiences and lessons that you will have before the final chapter of this planet's history is closed. It is incredible times. It is incredible times.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you to all the collectives and every Uber driver that's out there. Thank you all for helping.
Yes.
Much love.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We appreciate all that you are doing, and all who are listening, and all who are open and receptive to our love. It is making our job so much more enjoyable. So thank you.